Sickos Club.
Sickos Club.
Yeah. Hey, come here. You like pro wrestling? We got a little something for you. Two fans, 3,000 miles away. We each been watching for more than 30 years. Celebrating the art form, the action, the homoeroticism. We ain't rating matches. We ain't analyzing stories. We ain't experts. We just sit down, shut up, and mark out! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out, a pro wrestling podcast about pro wrestling. And I am joined today, my special guest, returning guest, Innitbab from the UK. What's up, buddy?
All good. Blade, how are you doing? You okay?
You're back because you're a fun person to have around, and I really appreciate you making the time. What time is it out there where you are?
In the United Kingdom, it is currently 10 past 10 p.m.
Wow.
So pretty late.
Yeah.
We've had our day.
I don't want to brag, but I'm staying up. It is 3 p.m. here, and I make it happen. You know what I mean? 3 p.m. And I stayed up that late just so that we could do this. And it's all for the people. It's because I give everything I got. I'll probably have somebody write a song about it for me. But I do got to say the pay-per-view hangover is real. It's very, very real. AEW will put so much adrenaline in my body. Like, I will have so much adrenaline going through me, including watching the main event going, no. Oh, okay. No. All right. Okay. No, don't do that. No. Get up. Okay. No, that's got to be the end. No shit. Okay. That's what I did for solid 30 minutes. And when you do that, it exhausts you. It makes you real tired. So I have kind of felt this post pay-per-view hangover. What about you?
It's a weird time period from Revolution to then Dynamite to where we are now. Yeah, Very odd. Still trying to take it all in, to be fair. It takes me a few days after a pay-per-view to really let it sink in. And sometimes I try and rewatch it back where I can as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I rewatched the first 3 matches from Revolution the other night, just in bed on my iPad. And I was like, I'll probably fall asleep during the first match. Nope. Made it through 3. And it was so good. I mean, it's just so compelling. And AEW, does pay-per-view like nobody else. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. Big ads, also sometimes called big dads, is it's funny because Blade is old and 3 p.m. is an all-nighter for him. That is true. That is true. It's, like kids have a nap time. I just have sleep times. Like, I'm only awake for about 3 hours a day because I'm just progressively turning into dust. But that's okay. That's no problem. You guys are just watching me waste away doing nothing. Don't feel bad, though. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about a few different things. Hangman is taking some time off. I have a question. Is Hangman the main character of AEW, or might it be somebody else? Because I have a theory that it might just be somebody else. Will Ospreay's back. Toni Storm has been murdered, kind of. But we found out today she will not be back at all this year, like crazy. So whatever's going on, it was pretty drastic. Mina Shirakawa actually got a win. Swerve wants Kenny Omega's EVP power. And Cage and Copeland versus FTR is official for Dynasty. And then lastly, bad crowd. We'll get there. But Innitbab, we kind of talked about this already. You can't tell big stories without taking a big risk. So what did you think at the time of Hangman losing and not being able to challenge for the title? And what do you think of it now? Is it any different?
On the night, probably because of sleep deprivation at the time, because it was, what was it, 4 a.m., 4:30 where I am? Bit gutted generally, because I had it in my head, like a lot of people did, that Hangman was going to do it. We didn't want to see the Cody yet again. However, now we've had a few days to let it all sink in. Let's see how it plays out. That's where I'm at, basically.
Yeah. And it's, it's the darkest ending to a pay-per-view that I can remember AEW doing, at least in a very long time. I can't think of one that's more like, fuck, like, what do we do? Than that. But it was a night of fantastic wrestling, a very heel-heavy night, which AEW tends to like not go in for as much, but knowing the results and just going back without that tension running through me, I'm really enjoying the rewatch of the show. It's really a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Fuck You Mama 2 times says, that's 3 years in a row Revolution has been my favorite pay-per-view. First was Sting retirement. Then last year was the 3 5-star matches in a row. Yeah, I remember that. And this year it was the whole card being good to amazing. Very true. Very true.
Yep.
And I feel the same. I think I thought the Hangman thing was a huge mistake if they went there. And by the way, chat, I need to have a word with you all. Last week I was going to predict that Hangman lost, and you all talked me out of it. Y'all gaslit me into believing that there was a chance that the Hangman could hold on to it, but no. Did he? No. Was I wrong? Of course. But I let you make me wrong. Okay? All of you were wrong. Nobody was saying Hangman was going to lose. In this chat, there was a lot of you. They say never to blame the audience. I just kind of ignore that rule. But yeah, there's obviously reasons for this. And even if they can get around it eventually, I think the shot of MJF standing on his body on the stretcher with the belt held high will be an all-time iconic photo of in AEW history. It was the cover of our last episode, but it was the cover of everybody's episode because it's an iconic picture. And I think it really cements Max like this. We'll get into it more, but Max is back. Like, this is not like coming, I'll hold the belt for a few months, then go do another movie. He's all the way dialed in. But let's talk about Hangman here. So on Monday, Degree and I had said that we felt like Hangman was probably being written off for the foreseeable future. And it came out Wednesday via Fightful that he is. He's taking some time off from the company. I don't know if he's having another kid. Please let your wife recover. Jesus Christ. This woman's that would be 3 children in like 4 years. Like, give her a rest, for God's sake. Who knows? But even if it isn't for like a family expansion thing, it feels like a smart move to me. Because anyone who took that kind of beating, one, needs to disappear for a while. It frees up the main event scene just as Will Ospreay returns and Swerve and Kenny are emerging as title contenders. And there's a ton of stars on the rise who need room to be able to elevate to main event level status. You got Brody, Bandito, Andrade, Darby. And those are just the people who have something to do with MJF currently. Like, they have interacted recently about the title. So it's, there's a lot of possibilities from here. But yeah, what seemed like the dumbest thing they could have possibly done a few days later was like, actually, there's a lot of possibilities. Let's see what y'all have to say. Blurry Line 7. I will say I'm no more sold on Heyman losing than I was before. I do wonder if they would have gone with the ending if they knew they'd also be without Toni Storm for so long. I mean, fair point, but I think that and I don't know. I assume Tony got injured in the match with Marina. I assume that's what happened. But I don't know, because it's like she's going to be gone a really long time, but we're not going to say what's going on. And so that makes me wonder, what's going on. The Scarecrow, thank you. I've been feeling bad about leading you astray all week. That's the kind of contrition we're looking for in Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out. And not from me. It's from you all. When you lead me astray, you say sorry. When I lead you astray, I move on and pretend I never said it. Skewered Universe, it's feeling more like the chapter of AEW where the main character was Hanger has possibly concluded, and now we get to see a new main character of AEW. Interesting. I like it. Yeah. Fuck You Mama 2 times. This Revolution was dark, but All Out tends to be that show for me where it's a lot of rematches and usually really bloody. I would say the ending to All Out 2024, where Hangman's like screaming on top of the ramp after defeating Swerve in the Lights Out cage match. That was a very dark ending. God damn, that was so good, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Mark Briscoe calls that rookie numbers. Bump those numbers up. Yeah, let's bump those numbers up. I don't even know what we're talking about, but yeah, do it.
More babies.
Yes. Oh, okay.
More kids.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's a good point. Funky Mama 2 times. I think Swerve getting the EVP title would facilitate Hangman's return. I've had that same thought. They are intrinsically linked.
Yes.
And there could be something down the road that makes Swerve feel compelled to bring Hangman back as a contender.
That's a good shout, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And maybe it's, Swerve's the champion and he wants, Hangman to challenge him or something. Yeah, blurry line. I don't want to speculate too much on Tony when AEW has been quiet. It's been for so many different reasons, as Keith Lee, Adam Cole, Britt Baker. I agree. And Fuck You Mama 2 times. I think Tony being gone is only going to force Tony Khan to push more female talent. Chip, much like with Hangman, and we will get to Toni Storm. That's going to be a whole thing that we get into. So, Innitbab, let me ask you, and let me ask the chat, who are the people that you can see stepping in? MJF's going to be the primary focus of the company for a while. And I thought I didn't want that, to be honest with you, because I thought they kind of overdid it with his first title reign. And I'm like, well, he won't be champion for 14 months again, So I kind of looked at him like maybe he might be a transitional champion. But I think MJF is going to be the guy carrying the company for a while. Who would you like to see get another look in the main event scene that's not there currently?
Obviously, what we got? We got Swerve, Kenny, Will Ospreay's on the sort of cusp, but he's only just come back, hasn't he? So I'd imagine Will Ospreay's got to be all in, surely. Wembley has to be for the title there down the road, I would imagine. On the cusp, Bandido, our boy Bandido's got to get it at some point. Has to down the road, but it's such a crazy title picture, really. If you step back and just look, so I'm not sure. I can't put a name down, to be honest. Especially the next champion, because like you said, MJF's going to have it for a while now, probably. Yeah. Well, back in January, MJF said Bandido will be a world champion in AEW. And then on this single episode of Dynamite, you had Kenny and Swerve both talking about being the number one contender. You had Darby Allin calling out MJF. I mean, yes. Yeah. This is going all over the goddamn place. I mean, this guy is literally like fucking just has everybody coming after him. Yeah, Swerve as EVP champion, reinstating Hangman as a title contender just so they can fight, kiss, or whatever. Skewered, I know it. I know what you want there, pal. That's for After Dark. That's for After Dark. Rhonda now just twiddling her thumbs, wondering what she's meant to do. It all depends on the reason that I think Rhonda is there to promote her fight. I think that was always the purpose, because literally the second she shows up on TV, and I just saw this the other night, Excalibur starts talking about the fight in May. Like, that's the first thing he says. That's Ronda Rousey. She's got a fight May, blah, 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 versus blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So let's get it out there. Yeah. Like, that's clearly why she's there. Also, I think she hates TKO, and I think she hates WWE. Yeah. She hated Vince McMahon, so, Ronda doesn't, but yeah. Not my friend or anything, but, she hates a lot of the right people. That's at least something. Blurry Line 7, I was thinking about this a bit. I've actually imagined it being better if the MJF Hangman stip was loser can never challenge again, because there would have been more intrigue. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Yep. Big ads as soon as he's back. Jay White must be inserted into the title picture, especially if MJF is world champ still. Totally agree. Agree. It's got to happen. Has to happen. Of all the people that have been out that I miss, it's Jay White for me. Yep. I'm going to say something, and I've said it on the show before. You have Kenny Omega, right? And the Will Ospreay types, or even Swerve, you could put in that category, where they're strong, they're agile, they can flip, they can fly, they can lift anybody in the world. Bandito's another one like that. Super athletes, right? Hangman is also like that. That's my favorite style. But my second favorite style is embodied solely by one person, and that is Jay White, which is, I'm going to do the thing that makes the absolute most sense that you never see coming. I'm going to counter literally every fucking thing you do, and I'm going to infuriate you until I beat you.
he's the most relentlessly logical wrestler I've ever seen.
Absolutely agree. The only thing I don't like about Jay White, the one negative, is when he has spit on the back of like the bottom of his mouth. When he's like run out of energy and he's just like so fatigued, it's like, yeah, not for the camera.
I knew you were going to say that. That's everybody's complaint about Jay. Jay, we can see your abs, bro. Drink some water before the match, okay? Because like hydrate, I'm sure he's like dehydrating himself to get the abs to look that way. So it looks ideal on camera, but Jay, like, bro, you are an ab. You are a giant abdomen. You know, like we see him. It's going to be okay. You don't need him to be that, you know, that visual. Look, we all know who's going to show up and dethrone MJF as champion, and that's Luigi Primo. That's from Skewered Universe. Skewered.
Is that the pizza flipping wrestler?
Yeah,
guy?
He's the weird pizza. He's the pizza meme indie guy, wrestler guy. Yeah, he was. You know, he was on Dark, and did actually on Dynamite. I think he wrestled like Jericho or something on Dynamite at one point. Wow, seriously though, could you imagine if Bobby Lashley came, like, to the title picture, or are you phrasing this suggestively so that I said what I just said? Don't cancel us. Blurry Line 7, Jay is a perfect challenger for MJF since he can out motherfucker MJF. Totally agree. Plus, MJF's already gone over on him one time, and I hated that match. The entire build I hated. It was, some of it was very unfortunate timing because some of the implications that were made in the build up, Juice with the quarters, which was like his shtick, but Max had also told a very specific story about that. And that was right when everything busted out in Israel. That was just too many things converging. I was very glad they never went another step further with that. But also the result was very telegraphed, and I was really done with MJF being the champion by that point. And when Jay lost, I was like, God damn it. Big ad, spittle equals ratings. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Fuck you mama 2 times said something I said to Joshi G earlier. Tekla is already stepping into that role like Tony. I think Athena can cook up a great feud with Tekla. Tekla has her triangle. Athena has her minions. Let them feud it out. Joshi's literal response to me was, it's time for Athena. And my response was, this is going to be a great year for Tekla. So we are super on the same page.
We've got to get the Ring of Honor women's belt off Athena soon, surely. It's got to be a matter of time. Dude. Has to be. She's got to be full in on AEW soon. Agreed.
I mean, I've been saying this for 2 years now. Like, come on.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, she's wrestled Billy Starks, who I think is clearly the person they want to give the belt to.
That's who they're pushing, yeah.
They've wrestled in the main event of 2 different, like, what would be pay-per-views and lost twice. I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't think Billy's really ready for that. And I think it's a lot to put on somebody that young, especially Athena, who's so good. But, like, my God, what about Persephone? That match they had at the last event was incredible at Final Battle. There's other people, Maya World, for Christ's sake. Like, give her a shot at it, you know? Fuck you mama 2 times. I believe we've had this conversation before. Shuri is the perfect person to get it off Athena. Look, I agree. I absolutely agree. They wrestled recently for the strong women's title, and Shuri beat her. Not sure if TK would let a New Japan talent hold one of his titles. He should. I think he should, because everybody else lets his talent hold their titles. And I think it makes the title feel more interesting. Something that was always really cool about Ring of Honor was they would bring in like Morishima when he was a full-time member of the roster. He won the ROH title. You know, like there was always the possibility that Kenta could win the ROH title. There was a lot of stuff like that. They even fucking brought in Kenta Kobashi for a fucking match. Jesus. Blurry Line 7, I wouldn't mind if Ronda took it from Athena and kind of headed up ROH since it's a much lighter schedule and a more sports-based presentation. I mean, I can see it. I think there would be a huge outcry. I'm not sure if it would help ROH. I'm not sure. Look, here's the thing. I'm not Ronda the person, like I could care less. I just don't care. But she does bring something of name value to AEW, and that's why they're going to do shit like this. Athletes bring baggage. They just do. Like,
yeah,
not absolutely all of them, but a lot of them. Big ads, 2 fucking words, red fucking velvet. That's 3 words, but thank you. I agree. I love Red Velvet. I think Red Velvet needs to be in AEW full time. Holy shit.
She's great.
Oh my God. She's one of the best athletes in that division in either group. Like,
the thing is, since she's been in AEW, she's grown. She's grown as well over time, massively.
Yeah, like, and I've always been a fan of hers ever, since I first saw her. I think it was in that match with Cody versus Shaq and Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I think you're right.
She always had like this raw athleticism that was really evident, and she had to grow as an actual wrestler a lot. But now that she's leaned into like the boxing stuff and all, I mean, she's so legit and believable. Like, I'm a huge Red Velvet fan. Huge. Big Ads will accept Persephone. And you know what? I accept you. Thank you, Big Ads. Persephone feels so ready for big shit right now. Like, this is crazy. Crazy. Okay. I will read more of the chat, but God damn it, I have notes. We got to fucking do the notes, guys. But keep the chats coming. I love them. Don't ever stop. Okay. Is Hangman really the main character of AEW, or is Skewer Universe correct in saying Hangman, this was the end of the main character by him losing to MJF? Because while I do agree that he was the main character and has been the first homemade main eventer who ever got over just massively, I'm not sure if he's the main character, because I think there's somebody that is always been teasing surpassing him, and really this match kind of made him the main character, is MJF. When you think about the two of them, right? Like, Hangman had a super epic saga up to the feud, through the feud with Kenny, right? He got over massively, and then he was just kind of there as champ. He was outshone by CM Punk. Tony fanboyed out all over, CM Punk. It was kind of embarrassing, honestly, because Tony was obviously so legit. Thought CM Punk was way more important than these amazing talents that he had. And then,
that was a fun time.
It was. Yeah. And then Punk and MJF hook up. And that's obviously the feud Tony really wants to book, right? And then Hangman drops the title to Punk. And Punk gets injured. Then he comes back, wins the title again. And what happened right before Brawl Out? MJF came back with the devil mask on and pointed at him. Like, that's where they were going. The story was clearly MJF taking the belt off Punk. The other story was Hangman losing to Punk. You know what I mean? So MJF wins the title. He has this incredible Iron Man match with Bryan Danielson. He has the dog collar match with Punk. And then he has this match, which is right up there for one of the best Texas Death matches I've ever seen. MJF is special. There's no doubt about it. But I think to Tony Khan, that's his boy. MJF is Tony Khan's guy.
I think I have to agree with that, to be honest. Especially the way it's heading. Absolutely. Regardless of whether Hangman's on a break for however long.
Right.
But yeah, you can sort of see that with Tony Khan, with MJF, to be fair. Yeah.
And I think, there's nothing wrong with that inherently. I mean, I think that MJF is obviously a worthy talent, but he has been put in he has always been on the main event track, even when he wasn't a main eventer. And you could always tell with Hangman too. I mean, I don't want to downplay, but I think Hangman was given some leash to get over this story with Kenny. And if it hadn't gotten over, they would have pulled back hard. MJF was like, no, you're the one. You're on the fast track. None of this is to disparage MJF. He was talented enough to justify it all. But I think in a lot of ways, MJF kind of is the main character of AEW. So what do you guys think? Am I way out of turn here? Am I wrong or am I right? Am I right or am I not wrong? Have you ever asked yourself that? Fuck You Mama 2 times said, give Deanna another shot on the main show. She's been killing it in ROH. Yeah, I agree. You know, and I don't blame her for being frustrated at how she's been used. I mean, her saying so publicly at a certain point, I think it's okay to be honest. Yeah. And I think Deonna is a perfectly good pick for somebody who could advance. I'm not sure what's happened in the relationship with her and Tony Khan, but something has clearly changed because I think Tony had big plans for her when she first showed up. Yeah. And I really like that thing she was doing with Taya as well. The tag team, the kind of mafia kind of gimmick.
But that sort of petered away, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. We've red weddinged Hangman, and now we got to move on to focus on our Jon Snow. I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, but I know who Jon Snow is. So I agree. I'm just going to say I agree. Yeah.
Yep. I know what he's talking about.
Skewer Universe, TK glazed Punk like he worked at Krispy Kreme donuts.
Wow.
He really did. And Punk, and it still wasn't enough for the guy. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, nope, that doesn't mean shit. Fucking Bomba 2 times. I think like Tarantino movies, there's never really one main character, but a bunch of compelling characters you want to see for good or bad. Fucking Bomba 2 times. I think that's the actual answer. I think that's the correct answer is in actuality, there was this time in 1988 in WWF where you had Macho Man and Hogan, right? They were on top together. And there was one that you always kind of knew was a little above the other, but like the fans could take their pick, right? Then in the late 90s, we got it again with Austin and The Rock, right? And there was still one that was a little over the other. I think Austin was a little over The Rock. You know, The Rock's become a much bigger star since leaving. But in the wrestling world, at that time especially, Austin was a bigger star. But we had these two babyface top guys who could also turn heel whenever they needed to. Look at AEW. You got Swerve. You got Kenny Omega. You still have Hangman Page, and that dude is not going to be a mid-carder, guys. Like, they will keep Hangman interesting, no matter what it is. There's no way he agreed to do all this without knowing where it's going, okay? He's going to be away for a while, maybe 6 months, who knows? And then he's going to reemerge, maybe after All In. And God only knows what he's going to do. Is he going to turn heel? Is he going to, go back on his word? Is he, is Swerve, just like was brought up earlier, is Swerve going to deactivate that whole provision? Who fucking knows?
If Hangman does come back, let's say All In sort of time, comes back as heel, he has to come back with the old theme tune. That's my main thing for that. When he turned heel proper last time round, and he
love that song.
Was it Hangman's hat or something like that?
The dark hat or something like that. Yeah.
I legit had that as my ringtone for a while.
Oh my God, what a great entrance song! It's miles better than his Babyface tune, but it's I'm just talking about as far as music quality. It's a much better song in my opinion, and it seems more custom made for him. But I also had my doubts about them giving him his OG music back, and when they did, it was like, no, this makes sense. This makes sense.
It worked when it happened. Yeah.
The Scare Glow. Hangman outshined Punk by miles. From then on, cracks in Punk's game can't be unseen. Totally true. I mean, it's so crazy because Punk put so much shit out there about what happened and everything. Him trying to do the buckshot several times and just failing.
I was about to say.
Like, some careers would be over for some shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, give up. Like, stop.
That time was when I thought, Phil, it's time to just end it, mate. Or just go back to, WW and do some sports entertaining or whatever. And lo and behind it, he did. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's an anthology film that has a common thread running through all the stories, in this case, the AEW title, and we are going to follow other main characters of that story. Agreed, Skewered. Agreed. Yeah. Well put. Always Never. Hey, I got a shout for you coming up a little later in this show, my friend, because you made a point. You've made a point several times to me when I was bitching about a very particular thing, and you were 100% right, and it was proven this week. You said, but Always Never saying right now, I was beyond pissed that the vendetta didn't get over. Me too. It's not like Deonna didn't have a character. They had a whole thing, and it was getting better. Their promos were getting better and better and better. Did they ever wrestle as a tag team?
I don't think they did they?
No.
Not that I can remember.
No.
But they were a thing. They were a group, weren't they? Like a stable. But yeah,
kind of.
They didn't officially go as a tag team. No, not
well, because there was no tag division at the time. But I thought that was signaling the beginning of one. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Scareglow, MJF might be Tony's Raven. I think you're hitting the sweet spot right there, because it is no secret that Paul Heyman loved him some Raven. And you know who else loves him some Raven? Me. Raven ruled. He was amazing. Yeah, and then the Vendetta broke up before the tag division even showed up. So way before it even showed up. So I think that we all, are on somewhat similar pages. And, going back to MJF here, he had the Punk feud. He had the Brochachos thing with Adam Cole. They main evented in front of 78,000 people who actually showed up to Wembley, right? He had that Ospreay feud. He had the Devil's story. He's always been featured and largely protected. And by that, I don't mean that he never loses. He does. He's a pretty unselfish guy, really. It's just that he's always booked in a main event program at a main event level. In 2024 and 2025, MJF was distinctly a part-timer, and he was kind of booked like it. He did a lot of jobs. His head didn't seem completely invested in wrestling, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't. He was getting roles in Hollywood and going and making a bunch of money and raising his profile even more. And so when he came back, now it feels like MJF's truly back. You know what I mean? And he's ready to dominate AEW for as long as they need him to. Main character or not, he's one of the main faces of AEW, one way or the other. And him as champion being chased by Omega, Swerve, Ospreay, Bandito, Brody, Jay White, God only knows who else. It does feel kind of perfect. Maybe Kevin Knight someday. Pretty incredible. Well, Innitbab, this is quite a festivity. So I'm going to hit some music. And when we come back, and this is the thing. If you tune in on Fridays at the time I tell you, which is 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, I sing the music for the people that I'm going to play because I can't hear it the way you listeners do. So it's a good reason to tune in. Purist Wrestling. Hey guys, I think the story of Tony is two things. One, Tony is pregnant, or two, AEW is recreating the Steve Austin 99-2000 storyline and says, new here, welcome, happy to have you. That could be. I think one way or the other, Tony's either got a really horrible injury or life circumstances changed somehow that will necessitate her being gone for quite a while. Either way, yeah, they've got to make something of this. And that's why the thumbnail is of her being devastated in the locker room, because I love a good murder mystery, as I said earlier. We're going to get to that, but the first thing we're going to get to is Will Ospreay. He is fucking back. Mm-hmm. Right? He showed up at Revolution. He did a bunch of crazy shit to the Death Riders. Then he revealed he's been cleared for weeks. On Dynamite, he took on Blake Christian, who is the perfect return rival for Will, because one, Christian's a really safe worker who will also sell his fucking ass off. And by and large, Ospreay looked fantastic for a guy who hadn't wrestled for 6 months or so. He also, I did notice he didn't sell as recklessly as he usually does. He did a cutter on him at one point, and Ospreay kind of landed on his knees instead of actually on his face, which probably wise to start doing at this point in his life. We don't need him missing more time. I want to see the prime of Will Ospreay's career, which I still believe is in front of him. And he will need to modify his style a bit, but so far it's been pretty minor. He dominated, he destroyed Blake Christian for the most part, and the hidden blades he hit looked amazing and brutal as fuck. Your thoughts, Innitbab?
Good to see Bruv back, obviously, fellow Englander or UK. Yeah, good to see him in a nice sort of match against Blake Christian. He's like you said, he's the perfect sort of wrestler to have that sort of quick comeback match, see how the cobwebs are in terms of wrestling rust and all that sort of thing. But I just hope that he does tone it down a little bit, to be honest, because he is ridiculously full on 100%. Let's go, let's flip, whatever. But yeah, he's got to think about his body, to be fair. Absolutely.
He does. And he's got to think about the rest of his career and how much longer he wants to do this. That's the simple choice. You look at Kenny Omega, who I think Will Ospreay is probably the most similar guy to Kenny Omega as far as the style.
Yeah.
And Kenny's peak was like 2 years because it's such a physical style that you literally cannot continue to do it the way he was doing it for very long, and it's not like Kenny's bad by any stretch, but his athletic prime was short because what he was doing was so demanding. And I think the same will probably be true for Will, but Will has time to slow down, unlike Kenny, who that motherfucker will be lucky if he can walk in 15 years. I'm not saying he won't. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Kenny. So Blurry Line 7 says, this is completely random, but I want to cast an AEW Twisted Metal game. I mean, yeah, for sure. You're the first person to have that thought. You know what I mean? Hangman gets a horse or an EV with steer horns. Yes.
Yeah.
Blurry Line 7, how is Ospreay's style change working for him? Point taken. There isn't much of one so far. Funky Mama 2 times. I think you can really make a thing about the Toni murder mystery. And I think they're going to. I think that's going to be a big part of where this goes from here is who did it. It's a who done it. And just like Clue, they had all the little possible weapons laying around her. I loved it. If this was planned in 2 days, genius. Whoever thought of this, real smart.
Was just going back to Toni Storm, actually, when she became Timeless Toni, and you remember the old vignettes they used to do? Yeah. And I think, was it RJ City who was like the producer, or he planned the whole thing? If they can do some sort of videos like that, but like you said, as a murder mystery, that'll be awesome. It's like a wrestling real life version of Clue, and I am so here for it. Just amazing shit. And she's the perfect person to do it with. I don't think it would work the same with anybody else. No. Pierce Wrestling and the woman that attacked Toni is Willow Nightingale in the Rikishi role, but the true mastermind in the Triple H role is Mina Shirakawa. I'm not sure they would ever do that to Willow, but you're not the first person I've heard suggest Mina might have had something to do with this. And I can see it, honestly. But how huge would that be for Mina if it was true? How huge would that be? Luther's just sitting there stammering like a fucking, shell-shocked, but Mina's like, oh, Toni, I will avenge you. And then she does, kind of, but Blurry Line reporting the unfortunate news that this idea probably came from RJ City and we have to praise him again. Fuck! Yeah. Good job, RJ. Fine. Well done. Yeah. Slow clap. Yep. RJ City needs to be involved somehow in this Toni storyline. I think he is. I think he's all over this Toni storyline. But you're talking about on screen, I assume. And how fun would it be if RJ was the detective trying to figure out who did it? Oh, please. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes, Cap and everything. Yes, please. That would be... Tony Khan, take this idea, okay? I don't care. Just take it. Do that. Make RJ the detective. Because I want to see that on my screen. I need to see vignettes of Toni as a ghost detective trying to solve her own murder. Oh my God, that would be the best. That would be perfect for her to do something like that as well. Yeah. Oh my God. To solve her own murder. Yes. Fuck your mama 2 times. The Toni murder mystery felt very David Lynch, the way everything was laid out. Look, I love Twin Peaks. It is my all-time favorite television show that's ever happened. And I doubt that anything will even come close to it. And it's funny because at least half of it is bad. But the good is so good that I just overlooked the bad. But it did kind of have this weird Peaksian vibe to it that I really, really liked. Let's finish talking about Will here, and then we'll jump into more Toni stuff because that's what the center of this episode, really. Yeah, Will dominates and destroys Blake Christian. He called out Moxley, who was wrestling in the next match. Ospreay immediately just beats the shit out of Yuta and Mox. He looked crazy intense doing this. I thought he was really hitting these guys. Pac came out and attacked Will, who security was trying to drag to the back. They're obviously going to fight. Does Will need to go through all the Death Riders before he can get to Mox? And I have this in my notes. Shout out to my guy, Always Never, who's been telling me for months that Mox didn't turn babyface.
He just started targeting other people he used to claim to respect who happen to be heels. I've been saying I don't want, another big Mox face turn, blah, 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 and thinking in that binary. And I was wrong. Okay. I think you're totally right. I think that Mox is not really a baby face. He's just been kind of allowed to sneak through as one and get into it with the crowd and stuff. But it's nice to know that there is some penance for this character to pay, because he was literally putting fucking bags around people's heads and trying to murder them right in front of the whole world. All the Death Riders have a price to pay. So I just wanted to give Always Never a big shout out. Yeah, Mox looks shaken up, and if he's ever going to turn babyface, he like true babyface, he definitely needs to atone, and these guys are nowhere near that yet.
No.
Yes. Player line echoing my sentiments here. I said it first. Mox has not atoned yet. So true. So true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're here. It's time to talk about Toni Storm being murdered and more. We're going to talk about it more. It was stated that she could not be cleared for action due to an attack she suffered at the hands of an unknown assailant. Apparently, that was aired on social media before the show, but they put it on the show as well. I was also told that the people in attendance did not see it. So Mina came out. They had no idea why. She's injured. I don't want to speculate too much, but something. It's and whatever it is, it's going to take a real long time to recover from. And so Renee's in the back. She's trying to get the inside scoop. Luther's at the door with it closed, just like stammering, kind of crying. And then they open the door and Mina's in there over her body. Tony's got like an insane amount of blood that's definitely not real blood coming out of the back of her head. That was a ton of blood. So they're like, she's not coming back for a while. Like, I think that was the point, She sustained a massive head injury, which with a character like Toni Storm could end up resulting in so many different things. Tony with a head injury. But I just love a good mystery. And wrestling can allow for these great mysteries. There were lots of clues in the picture that I used as the thumbnail for this little chat. Penelope's Harlequin hammer is in the shot. There's a bloody shoe. The bouquet. There's a whole ton of questions. So my question to y'all is, like, if we were to guess right now, who do you think it is? Is it Marina? Is it Ronda Rousey? Is it Mina? Somebody else? It's a fun way to write somebody off, but we're all probably going to be wrong, but this is a murder mystery. Come on, let's recklessly speculate, Fuck you mama 2 times. I heard Killer Kelly might be involved with this. Interesting. Okay. Hadn't thought of that. Japanese deathmatch wrestling legend Luther did look like he had never seen blood before. He did. Also, we cannot forget that Mina was extremely jealous and possessive of Toni when she was receiving flowers. She did not like Orange getting close at all. She was calling Toni her husband. Shout. Yeah.
That's a very good shout, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how big would that be for Mina if it was her? Like, she's the one it would help the most. Like, Mina, I don't think it's Marina. Mm-hmm. I definitely don't.
I think that's too obvious as it stands with the rivalry. Yeah.
There's a possibility that it's Ronda, but I don't know that Ronda will be in AEW by the time Toni comes back,
With the fight, with her MMA fights that's coming up soon, like May, like we said, and the fact that she's only pretty much here to sort of promote herself a little bit. She's Marina's best mate. I can't see it, personally.
Yeah, I think they're going to do a tag match with somebody, probably. It'll probably be Mina and whoever would have been is going to replace Toni Storm. Funky Mama 2 times says there's an X on the tattoo on Toni's wrist. There is, and I was like, does she have an X tattooed on her wrist, or did somebody put that there? I just didn't know. Bleary Line, my headcanon is this is Mariah May, and there's some magic contract loophole that allows her back.
Yeah, but she's got a doppelganger called Blake Monroe or something. Somebody by that name somewhere.
Looks just like
so. I don't know.
Doesn't wrestle though. She does the entertainment stuff, but yeah. Obscure universe. Oh wait, we need to speculate like absolute batshit insane people. It was Mariah May. I think there's a possibility it was Athena, because Maybe she could say, you've been main eventing all of these shows and I've been in ROH trying to get on these shows. It's not my fault I've been the forever champion and that I've been champion for 3 fucking years, but I was never going to get on these shows. So I think what we need to like keep our eyes out for as we're trying to figure out, who this could be is who benefits the most from it. Who would benefit the most from it? I don't think it's Mercedes, Deanna had a feud with Tony and their matching tattoos featured a lot. That holy shit, that would be huge for Deanna. Like that's how you rehabilitate her character immediately, But
like you were going back to what you said, Blade, about the sort of, we're not sure about Deanna and TK's sort of relationship. That would be interesting, though.
It would be. I think as time has gone on with Tony, he's proven to be a little less vengeful than he kind of appeared to be a few times in the past. I don't think he's ever going to be like Vince, where it's like, if it makes money, we do it. But like, I don't think he's there. I think he is still capable of being insulted to a degree where he's like, fuck you. But, I think Cody could come back. I absolutely think Cody could come back. CM Punk, probably not.
No. I think that's in the no column permanently, I would say.
Scare Glow, I want Britt Baker back, but I didn't see any missing teeth. Holy shit. That would be an incredible way to bring Britt back if they were going to do it. Yeah. But, just, and it's really just based on the amount of no Britt that we've had it's hard for me to see that. But
the thing is with Britt Baker as well, what's her, presumably we don't know her condition, because I know she had some sort, was it like a stroke of some sort? There was a proper like health
She said she had a mini stroke. Yes. But she came back after that and then she left again.
Yeah, against Mercedes. Yeah.
Fuck You Mama 2 times says what I think we're all thinking, which is I don't want Cody back. Neither do I.
Nah.
Nobody does want Cody back. It's just he could. And it would be funny because he'd get booed. And the only reason for Cody to ever come back to AEW would be to turn heel. Like, go Hollywood Hogan, do a Hollywood Hogan, like we're going to take over. Like I went to work at a real wrestling company kind of thing. Like play that up. Skewered Universe, if we're throwing theories out there, I know it's probably not true, but what if it was Ruby Soho coming back pissed that Tony left the Outcast in the rear view real quick?
That intrigues me. But she's not been back in any form like videos or anything for ages since she's had a baby, has she? No, and her and Ange seem pretty fucking stoked doing what they're doing. So, they have it's like a arcade / like gaming deli or something. Like they're very much happy doing their own thing, aren't they? So
it seems that way. It seems that way. But I mean, shit, this is a big, whoever is getting this opportunity, it's a big opportunity. So, we know Tony's going to be out for a long time, all of the rest of this year. I mean, it's only March. So whatever's going on is a big deal. And regardless of who did this, the women's division, like this is the time to step up, because they need, that's a huge hole with Hangman and Tony gone. Holy shit. And so that does open up a huge spot for the women's division, and Tony will feel more fresh when she's back. She has worked a lot. It's not hard for me to believe that she's injured because she bumps like a fucking maniac. Like Toni Storm, man or woman, takes some of the craziest, like most painful looking bumps and they're not like crazy, like she gets pushed off a stage or something. She just like will take a fucking power bomb on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit. Like I have seen her take so many crazy bumps. Everyone remembers the Hollywood ending match, and rightfully so, right? But the Australia match before that, Tony was taking so many insane bumps in that match. It's just crazy what Tony puts her body through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bruh, even Harley Cameron has a better sling blade than Baker. Her wrestling days may be over, but I still miss her. She was an amazing talker and helped us get through the pandemic era. My thing is, look, even if Britt isn't a wrestler, you can't tell me there's not a use for her. She could be a commentator. She could be You could give her own segment like the Piper's Pit or something. They were kind of doing that with her back during the pandemic era, on Dark. They were trying out the I forget what it was called, but it was actually pretty cute. It was a pretty fun bit. And Blair Line 7 says Toni's in-ring work is not praised enough. I completely agree. I think she is built. She is incredibly snug with everything that she does, but she likes it when people lay it in. She'll take a lot of fucking punishment, like real punishment.
Absolutely.
Go back and watch that Forbidden Door match with Athena. Like Athena looked like she broke Toni in half about 17 different times. I really thought Athena was winning that match because Toni just looked dead. But there's already been one beneficiary of Toni being out in Innitbab, and that's Mina. Because Mina is a good soldier who's put a ton of people over, knowing she was taking on Marina Shafir, who had been given a significant amount of exposure and push. I assumed she'd probably be losing again. But no, they had a great match. They beat the shit out of each other. Marina put Mina through a table. If you're not watching this, I'm making the quote fingers because Marina's the one who actually went through the table. Mina just went straight up on her head to the floor.
Smacked her head. Yeah.
Did not look good. Yeah. Marina got the mother's milk on Mina, but she managed to escape by just fucking jamming her nail in Marina's eye, which looked really brutal. And as Marina was kind of being checked on by the ref, Mina grabbed a bottle of champagne. I love the way they did this because we all saw her do it. And then she broke it on Marina's fucking face. Like, not over her head, like on her fucking face. Then she hits a spinning back fist and a Storm Zero and pinned Marina. Very fucking cool. Me just saying she hit the Storm Zero right after that is like, they could almost give a nod to the Mariah story with Mina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an interesting. But yeah, Blair Line says I was at first upset at Marina losing. I kind of was too, because I didn't think I said right before the match, like Mina needs to get some wins. I didn't think it would happen here, and I didn't know if I wanted it to happen here. But it just depends on what the plan is for Mina going forward. I thought they gave Marina a good out because she did take a fucking bottle to her fucking jaw. And then she was laughing as Mina was getting out of the ring. Like she couldn't even stand up, but she was just laughing on the mat. And that kind of, remember when Bray Wyatt was, he had that first year where he was very compelling and very spooky. And then his gimmick just became that he kept losing, but he would always laugh about it.
Yes, I do actually. Yeah,
that's not enough in and of itself. You know what I mean? You need.
Was that the early Wyatt family days?
Yes, it was very when he was like facing Cena, and everybody thought, "Ooh, he's going to beat Cena," and he didn't. Yeah.
Nope.
And then he lost to him like 2 more times, and then he beat him in a cage match because literally the entire family kept John Cena from getting out of the cage. Anyway.
Yes, I do recall.
Yeah. Marina didn't look weak. She took a fucking bottle broken over her jaw,
She legitimately scares me.
Yeah. No, she was massaging her fucking jaw. Like, I was like, damn, dude, that looks stiff. Yeah. Paris Wrestling. I wish Leslie Nielsen was alive for this story, like 1994 SummerSlam with Undertaker. Hell yeah. I love a good Leslie Nielsen shout, baby. Fuck your mama 2 times. Mina really needed that win. She's probably going to be Tekla's next title match. Or she's going to be really deeply involved with this Toni thing. And maybe even be the one leading the charge to solve the crime. Because she did it.
Yeah.
Anna is definitely the better worker. I hope she isn't done with AEW. Yes, I don't want... what would she do in WWE? We're talking about Anna Jay. Like... She's got way more upside than
NXT.
She'd be in NXT and she'd be some faceless nobody. She means something in AEW. But I have noticed that Ty hasn't been on TV since Anna Jay disappeared.
This is also true. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
It's been a long time. All right. Guys, next week on Dynamite, we are getting Kenny versus Swerve 2. Now... let me preface that by saying, if I had told you or myself last year, you're going to get Kenny versus Swerve next year, I'd be jumping for fucking joy, right? If I had told myself you're going to get it twice, I'd be over the moon. If I had told myself you're going to get it twice on Dynamite and it's going to have a real finish with huge stakes, I don't know what I would have done. I would have thought I would have been like, you're a fucking liar to myself, because that just seems kind of unbelievable. And yet here we fucking are next week. Kenny cut a promo, obviously, after he ran out during Revolution, and said, Swerve, now that you've beaten Brody, you are the number one contender. What about you put that on the line and we wrestle for it? Then a tweet comes out right after that promo airs, and Swerve says, Kenny, I got a counter offer for you. They go to a break, they come back, and Swerve comes out. By the way, the new Swerve music works way better with him as a heel. When he's the babyface, you want to do the Nana, But now it's like, don't dance to this. Fuck you. Like, I loved it. They did a spotlight on him while he sat in a chair. Swerve looks really fucking scary in the dark, you guys, with shadows all over him. Like, that dude looks fucking terrifying. Okay. And he cut what I felt was a really great promo. He said he doesn't just want the world title, because a title doesn't mean anything if you don't have the power to protect it. If you don't have the power to protect yourself. And then he says, Kenny, you want my title shot? Well, I'm not just going to give it to you. I'm not just going to give you a match for my title shot. I'm the one in the power position. I have the power. But I want your power. This was so good. He wants Kenny's EVP power. So he's putting his number one contendership up against Kenny's EVP power. If he wins, he's the EVP. Can you imagine this unhinged lunatic as the EVP just doing whatever the fuck he wants? Be kind of cool. I don't really want Kenny to lose again, but Kenny's kind of bulletproof at this point.
Yep.
And Kenny never uses the EVP power on screen. You know what I mean? So it would be a way for that to still have some kind of significance.
Yeah, with the EVP power, I think I go back firstly to Young Bucks when they were the heels. They used the EVP power for everything in the worst possible way. And I think Swerve will probably, because I'm sort of more towards him winning it, but because of who it is in the match, not quite sure yet, but I'm more sort of towards him. I think he'll be unhinged. Prince Nana with him as well. Yeah, it looks like the right fit for me, to be honest. Absolutely. It'll go with the way the character's going as well.
Yeah. And Kenny can take a loss. He's an ex-world champion. They're both ex-world champions. They can both lose. I mean, they don't lose anything when they lose a match. It's a very interesting thing, because the other thing is you have Dynasty coming up. Are these two fighting to see who fights Max at Dynasty? Because if that's the case, Kenny's going to win, in my opinion. Because a Kenny versus Max match makes more sense for the crowd than a Swerve versus MJF match.
Yeah.
And then Swerve chasing Kenny would make a lot of sense too. So I don't know that they would actually let Kenny win the title again, but I could see it. Also, I'm going to be at Dynasty. Let Kenny win the title, please. For the love of Christ, Tony, don't listen to the rest of this episode. Just listen to this. I will be at Dynasty. Okay? Let Kenny win the title from MJF there. All right. I don't like to use my platform for selfish means. You guys know how benevolent I am. But, you got to cash in every once in a while. Always Never says, I agree with the music for Swerve working so well with him as a heel. This promo with the harsh shadows was an evolution of his promo against Hangman about his spot. Totally.
Yeah.
Because that was the promo that changed Swerve's entire career, right? And this was signaling the next shift in Swerve's career. Absolutely. I think Nana has actually been... What I love about Nana is he doesn't try to do too much. He knows why he's there. And if he tried to do a bunch more talking now that Swerve's a heel, it wouldn't work. Because everybody knows Swerve can talk. So Nana just needs to not do the dance and kind of like tell the crowd to fuck themselves every once in a while. And that's about it.
Yeah.
That's why he's there.
Yeah.
But it was made official later in the night. The match is happening next week. I want to ask the chat, who you guys got for this match with Swerve and Kenny next week? And what do you think the aftermath would look like? Were Swerve to become the EVP or Kenny to become the number one contender? Yeah, so Player Line 7 says Nana was the best harbinger of Swerve's turn too. He really was. He really was. Having the embassy towel too.
Yeah, that's still in the background, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is, especially with a match like what's going to happen next week in the foreground. That would kind of be a perfect time for him to flex his power to take more power. You know what I mean? Or he could save it and say, you know what? I didn't watch my own back. That's why I lost to Kenny. And then bring in the embassy. There's so many ways it can go. But I'm just saying, whoever comes up against Swerve for the foreseeable future is about to get real hurt, because this dude, he really does look like the most dangerous man in AEW. Nothing against anybody
else. The weight
else.
he's put on as well.
Oh my God.
He's so stacked now, isn't he?
He's terrifying. He's just terrifying. Yeah. Fuck You Mama 2 times says it's going to be Kenny setting up Kenny versus MJF in Vancouver. Please. I would love that. Blurry Light says I've got Swerve because AEW love putting Kenny laid out on a stretcher.
They do.
I think really this must be Kenny's idea at some point. It's like a running bit that he likes to do. Well, yeah, then you guys put me on a stretcher.
That's how Kenny's mind works. He doesn't care about that sort of thing, does he? Like taking the mick out of himself. So yeah. Blair Line, I know Books absolutely loves it when that happens. Yes, she does. She loves when Kenny goes out on a stretcher. So does Joshi. She loves it. Okay, I think Kay loves that as well.
Kenny?
Yeah.
Kenny loves it. Yeah. Kenny also, like, I've said this on the show a bunch of times. Sorry for repeating myself, guys, but that angle where Okada did the elbow drop onto his gut and then he like vomited blood on camera. Yeah. That was totally Kenny's idea. Like, Kenny couldn't wait to do that idea. And he just went, he was like imagining how it would look for like a week. And he was just like, he just went everywhere.
That was a sight. That was, wow.
It was.
The flashbacks to that was insane.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it was funny because it was just obviously fake. But like,
just how forced it was, and like the eyes bulging. Yes. And, it was. Oh my God!
It was like such B-movie horror. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The Scare Glow. Let's be selfish. Kenny Omega is my favorite wrestler. I want to see Kenny win in person at Dynasty. Scare Glow, you and me, we are on the exact same wavelength. Okay, we should meet up. Any of you that are going to be at Dynasty, let's make sure to say hello to each other sometime during the evening. Okay, because I'm going to be there. It's not a very far drive for me from Seattle, so I will be there. And if you're going to be there, let me know, and let's take a pic together. Let's say hello. You know what I mean? Always never. I want Swerve to win because I will always root for him. AEW is so good with subtle details, and the embassy flag with Nana was one such great example. Future, no idea. I let the art wash over me. Always never is not a big fantasy booking fella, and I can respect that. I am significantly less of a fantasy booking guy because I'm always wrong. And, speaking of things that are wrong, I'm going to hit the music. I'm going to sing for the people because that feels really wrong when I do it, but it feels so good to me. And when we come back, we know one match we're getting for Dynasty. Boop, 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 boop. If you're not in the live chat, you didn't hear me just sing Lithium to the entire audience. But what you did get on Dynamite was a really fun trios match. The Young Bucks tagged with Jack Perry against the Don Callis family. And that was Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, and Kazuchika Okada. It was a super fun match. I love them kicking Okada's ass. Okada cut a promo earlier in the night. This dude's English is getting way better. Like, his promo was fantastic. It was so awesome. Like, he was like, you guys used to say we were like family. You're so stupid. Like, how could you? Like, of course I was using you, you know, like, that's so dumb. But yeah, so basically they have a match. There's also a bit that they filmed, a segment with Jack Perry leaving for work, basically, with his new national title. And I loved it. I really, really liked it. Luchasaurus is out there like his big brother or his dad, like honking, like, we need to go. Come on, get ready. And Jack's just going through the house, you know, and then he has like this moment with a squirrel, and then he gets in, they drive in, he shows up. I like this Jack Perry. This is fun. Like, this is just silly, goofy shit. And it's amazing to me that Jack Perry did such a great job as the scapegoat, but can do this too. And be kind of equally believable. Yeah. And so these, the trios match happens. It's a really, really great match. You get the Jacksons in, you get the Jacksons and like 4 other people in the ring. Like, you're going to have a good match. These guys do match structure unlike anybody I've ever seen. Nobody knows how to put like a huge multi-man match together like these guys. They're incredible at it. And you can always tell when it was them that did it, because people are always in just the right place at just the right time for something crazy that you didn't see coming to happen. But they cut a promo after the match. They do get the win. Rocky basically is there to be pinned, and we all knew it. They cut a promo saying they were totally crushed about losing to FTR in front of their family. They said they're going to pick themselves back up and get into contendership. And right when they say that, you think you know him. Cope's music hits. And God, who doesn't love getting down to the former members of Creed, now an Alter Bridge, doing this corny ass song that I can't stand. But it works for Cope, I will say. Like, not every wrestling theme is actually good, but it's good for wrestling. And this song works for Copley. Mm-hmm. And then Christian's music hits, and he comes out separately. Eventually, they're going to come out to one song, hopefully something different than Cope's song. But they come out, and Cope says the Bucks, hey, I have a lot of respect for you guys. You're too good to be defeated by a loss. Tells them to hold their head high, but he reminds them the Bucks also did him dirty personally. And they hurt his wife. And that she almost had to have neck fusion surgery, which that was a great shout because he did have so many neck fusion surgeries. So it's even more real for him to say it, right? And that once he found out they were in the clear, that he knew he had to come back. I like that little bit of storytelling there. And then basically he announced that Copeland and Cage are going to be wrestling FTR for the tag titles at AEW Dynasty in Vancouver. In front of me. In front of me. That's right. I just want to remind everybody I'm going to be there. I might not have mentioned that. But give me Kenny and MJF, you son of a bitch. All right. But they're going to be there. And that's a great match. That's a great shout. I loved it. FTR come out. Stokely's like, go get him. Stokely can walk, brother. He's been healed.
Yeah, where's his wheelchair? I noticed that straight away.
Well, he was so motivated by his love for Cash and Dax that during that match with the Young Bucks, he just stood. And you kind of can't go back after that. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And Nick, did the thing onto him while he was in the wheelchair. So I think he's realized there's disadvantages to the wheelchair now, especially since people know he can walk. Now it just seems lazy, I love when people like, Bobby Heenan or Stokely Hathaway try to do sympathy please because they're the least sympathetic people on earth. Like, I don't care if you're in a wheelchair, I'll still beat your ass. Blurry Line 7 said, I said this before, but I'm convinced Okada takes English lessons solely to be more of a prick.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I agree. I agree. Always Never. I love the scapegoat character, but seeing Jack find the perfect blend of both characters is such a great thing to see. Totally agree. Totally. Fuck You Baba 2 times says Young Bucks versus CNC Wrestling Factory versus FTR. Woo! Gonna make you sweat till you bleed. Yeah, we're throwing back to CNC Music Factory. That was a good shout. I think they will have a 3-way match at some point, but I think all these teams are going to face each other individually first. I suspect that Cage and Cage and Copeland will win at Dynasty. And then I think they face the Bucks after that. And then maybe at like All In, we get that triple threat match.
Yeah. That's where I was heading.
Yeah. The only way that I'm good with these teams dominating the tag division for another half year or year is if everybody gets some kind of significant win at some point in these matches. And this is kind of the end of them being the wheel for the entire division, because they have a lot of good tag teams now. You know, Gates of Agony. They got the Rascals, who are incredible. Gates of Agony could be your future killers for years. You've got the Busta and the Brain. The Buster and the Brain. Yeah, I think so. Alec Price and Jordan Oliver. You've got so many other teams that you could bring up. Private Party if they want to really invest in Private Party. You know, there's a lot of other tag teams, and they need to start getting put over by these teams for them to really seem like have that main event feel about them, you know? So I want to see the Bucks and FTR particularly, but also I would love to see Copeland and Cage put over some more teams too.
Yep.
Blairy Line says Stokely walks on the same day Ted DiBiase Jr. gets off fraud charges. Truly an amazing day for grifters everywhere. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I saw that right before we started the show today, that Ted DiBiase Jr. was found not guilty on all 13 counts of massive, massive fraud. Last thing on the agenda today, folks, let's talk about this Fresno crowd. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because I have been in crowds that were called bad. And I could tell you that in that place, we were loud as fuck. All right. So I'm only saying something because I noticed so many people talking about this. If you can't hear the crowd, look at the crowd and don't listen. Look, if their mouths are moving, the mic, they're being compressed out of the mix. And that definitely seemed to be the case here. And the way you could tell is at the very end of the episode when the Bucks and Cage and Copeland were in the ring together, the crowd's chanting, "Holy shit," but it's barely coming through. And then you could hear it get squashed down again. So for whatever reason, they had the compression on super, super harsh. Okay. But I don't think I feel bad for the people of Fresno because I don't think they were actually as bad as people were saying they were. So just, you know, like, lest you be the next person to be in a crowd that's called terrible. Remember this day. Remember this day. They came across bad on TV, but I've seen some of Kay's videos and they were definitely loud in person. Yeah. Very, very much the case. Kayfabe Kay was there. She very bitterly contests this notion that they were a bad crowd. I was in Dynamite crowd last year. Went on Blue Sky, just feeling like, oh my God, we did the Kyle thing, you know, let's go Kyle, let's go Kyle. We started that. Okay. And we thought we were so great. And then I came back and on Blue Sky, they were saying what a shitty crowd we were. It was like, come on, nah, come on. They're really good at the pay-per-views with it though. Like the crowd always comes through at the pay-per-views. Sometimes on Dynamite, they just little too.
They've got to sort it out for Dynamite and Collision, especially Dynamite, I'd say. Yeah. Yeah.
Cause Collision, especially, they're usually double tapings now. And I think that a lot of the crowd is kind of either tired out or they're starting to leave, some of them, which is a bummer. True. But I just don't think they can draw doing Collision as a separate show. I think the U.S. economy is really not good, and people are holding on to their money right now. So it really doesn't make sense to do them as two separate shows. I am going to Dynasty, and then that next Wednesday, I will be in Everett, Washington for Dynamite and Collision. So, yeah. Nice. Let me ask you, Innitbab, have you gotten tickets to All In yet?
Unfortunately, I can't go this year, but I did go 2023 and 2024 to Wembley. I'm going to hold out hope that they'll do Dynamite and Collision like they did last year, like Manchester or well, hopefully Birmingham will be ideal for me, being in the Midlands. Yeah, hopefully if there's a Dynamite or sort of Collision around November time, like last year, I think it was, before on the lead up to Christmas, that would be good. But unfortunately, not able to do All In this year. But yeah, Wembley was fantastic, to be fair, the 2 years I've been so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to do Texas last year, and I just couldn't get it together financially and stuff. And, you know, I mean, you're a family man of all things. I mean, you got a lot of things to consider here, you know, these shows are expensive. Well,
on the day on All In this year is actually my daughter's birthday. So unfortunately, I can't do the wrestling on that day.
Oh, so your daughter's birthday trumps all it does, actually. Yeah,
it does.
That's having your priorities correct is what that is. And that's a not.
My wife has already told me.
Yes. Like, don't even think about it, pal. Don't even think.
Yep.
Yep. Bleary Lion says, I'm also not going because 80,000 people is too many humans to be around.
Yeah.
I understand.
Fair, I'm not the most outgoing people person, but I can definitely respect that, because at Wembley with that many people and you're getting your seats and it can be overwhelming, to be fair.
Yeah.
If you're feeling a bit anxious or something, yeah, absolutely.
Totally. Always Never says it's odd. It's like AEW is just so built for larger arenas in regards to their sound production. Sometimes the weekly shows sound a little off, especially with the entrance themes. You know, there's so many things they have improved. You know, it used to be that they missed a lot of camera cuts or whatever. It was kind of an LOL production situation there. And then Mike Mansouri came in and took over, and it seemed like all of that was going to go away overnight, and it didn't. And then he's really gotten so many things dialed in the time he's been there. But the sound sometimes can be a little bit off. But I think also modern production is just kind of not very dynamic. Even the way music is produced right now is not very dynamic. Everything's flat in the same volume. So like, it's hard for things to really pop because everything's compressed so much, you know?
Speaking of the sort of with like the main shows like your Dynamite's, Collision and stuff, another thing I noticed before I switched from Triller to my AEW recently was at the start of the show, they'd sometimes miss out the entrance and go to the ring, and then you'd get to the end of the episode and then there's the entrance music. Really strange how that works sometimes.
Like it starts over
HBO Max, but yeah, really odd.
They used to do that on Triller sometimes.
Yeah, Triller. Yeah.
They would do that there.
My AEW is fine. Hasn't happened perfect. But on Triller, when I had that, it used to do that all the time. Really weird.
It's done it on HBO Max once or twice, where it's like, it like starts over or the very beginning of the episode. Because HBO Max, at least on Roku, is like kind of a buggy app where it... Like, I'll just have the sound get really quiet in the middle of the show, and if I get out and get back in, it's fine. It's just super weird. Like, one time I turned my TV way up, and then I'm like, fuck, this doesn't sound right. So I got out, but I forgot to turn the TV back down. And so when I came back in, it blew. I mean, like, I was like, holy shit, the dog got up and ran away. Like, it was just, it was just wild. So, okay. So, can AEW please get better live monitoring to music performers? No, I don't think so. I think that is part of their deal. Remember the poor drummer guy who played Swerve to the ring live one time? Oh, and he got so hideously off beat because he couldn't hear himself, or he couldn't hear what he was playing to. Oh, it was so bad. It was, I think that was actually that Hangman match at All Out. Because it was a big moment for Swerve. He got played to the ring by this drummer guy drumming to his music, but the guy could not hear what he was playing to. And he got so off beat. And this is obviously a good drummer, you know, but he sounded incompetent.
If you can't hear yourself drumming And then it's just shame for him.
Hangman's poor trumpet man had no monitors, I don't think, and it sounded kind of rough. You know what that was, Blurry Line, is they didn't take the trumpet out of the original mix of the song he was playing to. And so no matter how many times you do something, you can never do it exactly the same twice. It's just the rule of audio. That's why double-tracked vocals sound so particular. It's like two of you singing, but the reason that there's like a little dissonance between your voice is because you can never do it exactly the same again. And so that's what was happening with the trumpet is he sounded almost a bit off because the trumpet was still coming through in the original mix of the song. And I would recommend they don't do that. Obviously Down Straight were awful. I think AEW has only had a couple of decent sounding music performances. I think JoJo doing Chaka Khan was good. Rancid were good. True. Very true. Scared Low, my wife and I were at Double or Nothing in Vegas when Gangrel appeared in the cage match. I selfishly want to see a full-on Brood situation in this storyline at some point. Give me Gangrel and blood. As a fellow Gangrel mark, I say yes. Let's do it. Yep. Fuck You Mama 2 times. HBO Max on my Amazon cuts the main event. What the fuck?
Oh,
yikes.
No.
That's bad.
Not good.
That is bad. HBO, by the way, you guys shit the bed on the night of the pay-per-view. And I said it in the last episode, but it was so bad, I'm saying it again. They literally just didn't air the 0 hour at all. After saying for the entire week, and we'll present on HBO Max, free to Max subscribers, you're going to get the 0 hour. We were all watching on YouTube. We didn't even know if the fucking pay-per-view was going to come on that we paid for, you know? And then for some people, it didn't. HBO Max.
That's not good.
Nope. For shame. Lastly, Blurry Line 7 says Gangrel is always going to be up for it too. Absolutely. So kids, let's just recap a little bit. You're going to go to sickosclub.com. You're going to go to the merch store, sickosclub.com/shop. Where's the /merch? It's one of those. There's also a shop link on the website. Just go to sickosclub.com. Go to the shop. There's a lot of cool shit in there. There's going to be more cool shit coming to the shop very soon. If you listen to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star review. Helps us get boosted in the algorithm. Even better, write a review. It's like, I think it has to be like 300 words long or something. I know nobody likes to write anymore, but you're doing it for me. Doing it for the blade. So do that. And if you're watching this on YouTube, give this video a thumbs up. So make sure you're subscribed to Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out, to our YouTube channel, so you get all the shit. Make sure you ring the fucking bell thing for all the goddamn notifications, whatever. Everybody says the same shit because we have to, because that's literally what you have to do. Anyway, Innitbab, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolute pleasure being back again.
Till next time, I'm Blade Daily.
And I'm Innitbab.
Pro wrestling forever.
Sickos Club.